And hello everybody. We are back live on the Gabriel Unreal Menagerie lives. So we're changing schedule. We started today on Thursday, right? Next week is going to be a little bit earlier. It's going to be on Tuesday, and I think we had these. If I'm not mistaken, we had this format like before with Elena, and we were doing like Animation Tuesday and stuff like that. And we were having a blast those days, and we had like a couple of people actually coming to the live. So I think we're going back to back to basics and back to Tuesdays and test. If we get a little bit more people, maybe. All right. So this is it. Hello, Franco. How are you?
Howdy, howdy. I am doing great.
How are
I
you?
got a new CPU and a new water cooling system. It was a nightmare to put on my PC, but it works.
I
So
bet.
Unreal is running faster now.
Because you were running water cooling like for the longest time, and those things tends to actually fail and corrode and all that. Did you change it because of that, or just because the actual
Oh no, no,
CPU?
I was running air cooling, but the CPU was very old. It was
Oh,
like
all right.
5 years old, and I got a 4070 not long ago. So it was doing a little bit of bottleneck there. So I got a 15 5800 XT from AMD, which is possibly the latest my motherboard can run
Oh,
without jumping to the next generation to the new ones that are like
is that a Ryzen
$200.
9 or 8?
No, it's a Ryzen 7.
Oh, it's a 7. All right, so it's an
Yeah,
oldie
like
but goodie. How many threads?
it's 1 year old actually. It's 16 threads, 8 core.
All right, so you're running the same amount of cores as me. Am I right? Let me check properties. No, not at all. I'm running 12. No, no. Believe it or not, I'm on a Ryzen 5 3600X.
Mm. I
Uh,
had a Ryzen 7 300, 3800 or something like that. So jumping to this one is insane. It's opening Unreal 1 minute faster than what it was before, which was 1 minute and
oh,
a half. It's now opening in like 30 seconds.
right. No, no, you should be more than good with that one. And
Mhm.
it's amazing how they kind of run the same gigahertz, but the new ones are much better and more
Yeah.
optimized. So everything turns to run like much better. Even so, you can compare. And I saw an actual Linus tech tip where he compared same amounts of gigahertz from old generations and new generations, and the difference was like completely
Yeah.
appalling. And it is just like newer versions are faster. You have more cache, and the bus run faster. And even though you're running the same motherboard, right? It should
Mhm.
still give you like much better results.
Oh no, it's incredible. Yeah, the video. I don't feel that much of a change in the video games, or at least not that I can notice. But in
Right.
Unreal, it's been insane. The difference has been nuts.
Right, for sure. All right. So, first, I need to know how are you coping with the heat? Because for all of you who are in the north, you might be surprised that here in Argentina we're in in the middle of the summer, and the heat waves has been completely destroying us. We had like 2 full weeks of raining, and now all that humidity is now getting together with the heat, and it's a horrible experience to put like a foot outside of the door.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's been terrible. I've been mostly cooking inside with the AC
right,
blasting full on every single room of the house. But yeah, I went to the gym yesterday. I couldn't make it today. I was like, I'm just gonna train here at my home under my AC. But
right,
tomorrow I have to thread to the gym again. Next week we are having half the temperature we're having today apparently. So we'll see how
yeah.
that goes.
we actually skipped today because the heat was so. We are in tax week this week, so we actually doing all the tax stuff and all that. So Dama had to run out and do some scannings and no, do some printing and then some signing and then some scanning to send it back. And it's the whole ordeal. She got back and she was like, "I'm not going. I'm not putting a foot outside this house today. I'm gonna go to the shower and then I'm gonna turn to bed to pass out a little bit." Yeah, it's horrible. We are really suffering here. The cats are having the worst time because we don't allow them outside because they simply won't measure danger. Like that's how cats are. Like they will be completely fried out outside, and they are not going to be the wiser to say maybe it's too hot, so I'm going in.
Maybe I
Yeah,
should go inside.
yeah. No, they're not like that. They're gonna the little one, Fred. Oh, he is happy. He's like a cheetah. He's like an African kind of cat. Like he loves heat. He loves being outside. But because we cannot measure how much water intake they're taking, so we're a little bit careful with that. So now they are stuck with us inside and they're very bored. So maybe really soon you're gonna see me like chasing them down because they're gonna start fighting or doing some stupid crap behind me. Because that's how they are. All right. So I got a couple of things to actually converse today. And the first thing that I want to actually cover is a few, as usual, I'm finding things that are changing in 5.5 that were never announced. And I don't know if this one is going to be good because I'm seeing, zombies inside Unreal Engine. I'm seeing dead man walking. I'm seeing things that you were, I was of the knowledge that they're not going to be playing with that anymore, but now I'm seeing changes, and that is landscaping. The landscape painting tool had changed, and I was like, "What?" I was at class and explaining that, and the thing was not working, and I'm like, "No, no, no, no! I'm not mad. Like these used to work this way, and now it's not working." In fact, it actually changed, and I'm like somehow surprised because I don't know how to feel about this. Let me actually show you what it is, and then we can actually discuss a little bit about what is going to happen with the old landscape system. So let's go and jump in. Here we go. So this was what I was actually trying a couple of days ago. So yeah, we go to landscape. We can create like any landscape here. Any will do. I actually have a material assigned here, very silly material. But let's create something like this. Oh, first of all, I don't know if this was like this before. I actually checked it in 5.4, and it actually is there. But for the longest time, I thought that this was impossible. Do you remember that these, resolution is very weird? Like the actual numbers that they choose for these are, if you want to bring like a 1024 kind of map, there is impossible because the number 17 components will be like 1072. And if you go to 16, then you're down to, to 1009. So there's no way for you to actually to bring in like a 1024 without, if you go to import file, it's going to have issues with that right now. But what if I tell you that you can now go 4K? Which one is it? It should be 65. Yeah, 4096. This is unheard of. I don't know, maybe I'm such a noob that I didn't know this. But yeah, you can actually bring in 4K, exactly 4K maps into the engine. I didn't know this. If you want to bring like an actual, height map from outside the engine, I don't know if this was possible before. Yeah, 65 components will allow you to bring without over, what are the, you could, oh, no, where is it? There is an actual way of, you need to actually select one. All right, let's select one. There is a way of telling this if you want to. Oh no, I remember. It's after you import it that you can actually choose to resample it. So now you're gonna be able to actually import like a 4K map into this thing, and it will work like a charm because it will fit corner to corner with no padding and no empty pixels, at the end. So I don't know if these actually happened before. You want to know the silliest thing of them all? If you go all the way up, you are missing by 1 pixel, 8K.
Oh no.
It should be 8192, and it's 8191. So you had one job, dude. You had one job. You fixed 4K. How couldn't you fix 8K? It's so weird, right? Well, I would guess that the actual missing pixel won't do like too much if you actually try to. So what would happen? I actually have an 8K map that we can try to import. So if we go to downloads and we go to, I think it's Grand Mountain. This one is 8K. Yeah. No, this is not 8K. This is the one, Mountain Range. So will it complain that it's not the blah, 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 the size and the stuff? Oh, no, it's doing crap now. Because look at the, so this is the actual size of a texture. It's 8192. And it actually assign, if you set it to be filled to the data, it creates 17 components, and now it's 8671. So this makes no sense. If you try to actually import this, you're either cutting part of the image, and in this case, that is what it's doing because this is less, right? No, this is more. This is 8171. So I'm guessing that even if it stretches out, it's not going to be the actual proportion, and you're going to end up with either padding, so empty pixels in one of the corners, or and it's simply not going to work because, to tell you the truth, this workflow is good when you work in Gaia or Houdini, and you're not only bringing like a height map, you're bringing the height map plus, maybe a diffuse, maybe some masks, right? And after you create your landscape, you want those masks to actually feel the full length of the, of the landscape, right? And if you don't get this math right, that is not going to happen. Now, what if I trash this and I bring the 4K? Will that work? Is it this one? Are you 4K? Properties, details. Yeah, this one is 4K. Will you work? Look at that. 4096. Am I crazy? This happened before? Can you do that before? I have no idea. But it's so weird that now you can actually import 4K height maps, but not 8Ks. Who knows? But that is, what is happening now. Either way, I found like an excellent way of doing this because this has like a fatal flaw. And that is if you actually go fit data and this looks okay, right? Look what happens if I hit import. The weirdest thing happened. And I actually tested with the PNG and the EXR version, and it happens exactly the same. The actual landscape is going to either sync or, start a lot
Backing
higher.
up. Oh, it's sync.
Yeah, this one syncs a little bit, but it is sync enough to actually be a problem when you want to work with, maybe blueprint brushes and stuff like that, because they're not in the zero. To actually bring in your landscape to be like flush, you need to actually raise it up like tons. And that is, a very awful. And the fact that because maybe of the softness of the PNG, because it only have like 8 bits, you're getting something that is pretty flat and you lose a bit of the actual stuff. And not to mention, let me hit Control C. So these landscapes should go away. Will you go away without crashing? Can you do that? Yeah, big landscapes are allergic to Control C. Maybe I should actually kill it with fire. Yeah, go away. Delete. And be gone. And this is only a 4K map. Imagine if I tried to actually do, the actual Control C worked. Look at that. All right. What I was saying is that,
The softness of the
yeah,
PNG.
no, this is the actual issue. If you check the actual types of files from where you can actually ingest those height maps, you have PNG, you have R16. First time in my life that I learned that there is an R16 file format for images like with this, and RAW. The silly thing is that Unreal Engine actually can import EXRs, but you cannot use the EXR here. So that's crap. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Unreal Engine, you're drunk. Go home. So I'm not using the import file from here because it's simply not good enough. So what I love is to do the next thing. And that is, let's create this. It could be any size, so you know. So maybe I'm going to use like a tiny one. Maybe not that tiny. This thing is silly tiny. Yeah, let's do like a weird, right? Overall resolution. And to show you the actual new way that I'm using. So now you have your landscape here, right? And that is looking fine. You're going to have to go to your sculpt. You go to your blueprint brush, and you go to your landmass. The blueprint brush, and you want the material only. This is the one that like grab a noise, and it will do like a displacement on the landscape. So I'm going to be using this. Once you get it here, you click there. And so you all know for these to actually be working, you need to have the landmass plugin on and enable. So that's it. It should be there. Sometimes it is a little bit shy. So what I'm going to do is, now I know that it's there, the actual blueprint brush. It's right here as an actor. I'm going to jump out of landscape mode. And now as soon as you grab it and jiggle it, now it's there. The thing is that my landscape is completely black now. We're going to go and address that real soon. But let me show you the magnificent new way of doing this. If you get your EXR version, right, of the height map that you downloaded, you can actually import it to Unreal Engine as an EXR. And then you're going to grab your custom brush material only. And instead of using an Unreal Engine...
Remember that I'm covering that,
yeah,
the detail file, so they don't see it.
Oh, am I?
My face is covering that, is what I mean.
All right, let me try to do this for just
there
a
you
tap.
are.
And you assign it here as the actual, map that you're importing. And then what you need to do is, play with the height of it and the size of it also.
Nice.
So in this case, you're going to need to actually go like a little bit higher than that.
Cool.
And that's also new. That thing, doing that weird stuff, like disappearing some of the components, that is new also. So let me take it as far as the edge, and now you can play with the height because you also have control over that. So you can actually import it exactly as you wish. Now you can see that it is pulling it up, right? But what you can do is actually lower the actor, right? The landscape blueprint brush actor. And you can actually put it exactly where you need it. And this is a much, much better way of doing this. What if I turn this into on lead? Oh, no, it's worse. Maybe as a wireframe will look good. Yeah, now this looks like very CG. All right. So this is great, right? The best thing about this is that you can say, well, these looks fine, right? But maybe I want another, mountain around here. Well, I happen to import another EXR that happens to be like a mountain. It's a sprite of a mountain, right? So now I can add another one of those. I can come to my landscape and go to my blueprint brush, another material only. I click once, so I drop the actual stuff here. Now here's where you start to play with the alpha blends. And these will be read in an order and all that, right? I love always, I don't know why, to put the brush manager last. And then you can play here and set these to additive. And you're going to see
Yeah,
how these will work very
it's so
soon.
good.
And now you can bring in your mountain, just
It's
like
so
that.
good.
And now I can actually play with my height and look at that mountain coming in. And you can play with the actual size of that mountain. And you can also move it around. This is a mountain that I can actually. Why is doing that? That is weird. It's like while you're moving it, it tessellate everything.
It looks better.
Yeah, this is because the actual LOD. You can actually see the LOD
Mhm. No,
growing.
switching.
But yeah, this thing is awesome. You can actually rotate your mountain.
It's nuts. Yeah, landmass blueprint brushes are insane.
Yeah, ask
The
Brushify.
fact that
They are making
it's
a life out of
alive.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way to go. All right. Now that we know this, let me show you something where I started seeing like a dead man walking. And it was like, all right, now that I have these, and I happen also to have, let me go back to my lead. I happen to have a material already assigned, right? So you remember the time when you added the material and then you went to the painting tools and the actual layers were not there, even though those layers are, already created in your master material, right? So you should be expecting layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, right? Here.
Yeah, we need to create the weight painting and all that.
Yeah, and you had to, sometimes save your level, go out, go in, sometimes restart
Mhm.
the engine. But now they do have these two new buttons. These are new. These are not in the documentation as far as I know. These were not in 5.4. And so these are brand new for 5.5. And as far as I know, no one actually talked about this. So what this is two buttons, the manual and Unreal Engine trying to guess what you want to do. Imagine which one always fails.
Mhm.
So I'm going to try to do this, and you're going to see the actual issue. So this is, what used to happen because Unreal Engine would, actually create all these layers here so you can start painting. But now if you create this layer and assign materials, this is what happens. It doesn't look bad, right? You have layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. But the thing is that it actually it didn't auto create the layer infos. It assigned a layer info that happens to be in my content drawer and
Mm.
assign it and didn't ask me. Now it's there and now I cannot delete it or assign another one. That's a one, right? So, and this is very hard because these layers infos, you cannot create them from your content browser. So you cannot come here and try to create like a layer info. It is not a thing that you can create from here. So it is
Landscape layer, miscellaneous, a little lower.
you can
Miscellaneous, two lower, one higher. That one
landscape layer. Maybe it's
looks
called.
like it's that asset
All right, let me try that one. Oh yeah, it
due to
looks
the
like it.
color of the asset itself.
But
Oh,
can
it is
I
not.
sign it? You see?
Nope.
So it's
It
something
is, but
that
it's not.
you need to actually click here, right? To actually
Yeah, yeah,
create
yeah.
the one that is going to be attached there, right?
What happens if you double click on that?
So what?
Oh, if you double clicked on what you created, like what is it? What's inside it?
All right, let's check it out. Oh, these things are, barely there. If you open it up, it is nothing. You can actually have some debug colors and stuff like that, but there's
Okay,
nothing here.
literally non-reference and just layer
Yeah,
name, and that's it.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Okay.
So it's awful. This button here. I would love for these to be actually happening, but do not populate these because you don't know how many times I'm using this landscape material in other levels, right? And if you start painting with these and you had these level infos in other levels, you're going to be
It's great.
destroying your painting that was on the
Okay.
other level, right? Because this is actually where this is in a folder that has the name of your level and everything. So you should not be messing out with these because you're going to be breaking everything. So this is horrible. The fact that, this is the way to go now. So now you must painfully, go back, destroy everything, right? Give me just a second. All right. And now you got to do the manual way, which is not that bad when you have like 3 layers, but there are a couple of very complex landscape materials that has like dozens of layers. And if you need to go like this, create a new one and then saying, well, this is my layer 1. And now I'm going to create a second one. And this is my layer 2. And you know what? You are doing it in the wrong order. So why is that? Try it again. All right, now it's after it. Now it's layer 2. And now it's layer 3. Great. So now you can see that now they are there, right? Did I call them like that? I think I put a 0 behind the 1. That's why the actual material is not showing here. All right, now it's showing. Then we do the next one here. I think this is now ordered by custom. I'm going to set it to default. So, all right, and now this one should be 03. Am I right? Let me just check. Because this should already have a little bit of color there. Layer, oh, it is without the dash. That's why it's not populating the color here. Let me go back. It's layer 03. Now this one should be yellow. That is good. Layer 02. And that is good. And layer 01. And that is good. Now, I'm concerned because I actually developed this material to be weighted. So weighted means that if I paint with layer 1, it will steal all the weight from from whatever other layer that is out there, right? So you can actually paint with full 1 value. It's like if you're creating the weight paints for a character. So that is how this thing is, range. But now that it's in a weird order, if you actually use the alpha one, I don't know how that is going to work. But let's continue with this. And let's add the actual, yep, that's it. Now that one should be working. And I don't know why I think I'm overriding something. Oh, you know what? I have not saved these. Oh, no, this one is main. So that is good. It should be good. Yeah, main shared asset. That's good. And now this one. So that's it. Now I have and it should have maybe, but you see, it's totally wrong because it's using layer 3 as the base layer. And I don't know when it choose to actually use layer 3. So even these is very hard to actually, create whatever you want. So maybe you plan for layer 1 to be your base layer, but now there is no way of actually changing that. The weird thing
Maybe
is that
the order in which they are in your distribution,
but it
not
should
in the material,
it
but
should
in the
follow this
landscape.
one because this is the base layer, but now here the layer 3 is the base layer.
But since
So
you set them to the
you can try
painting,
to arrange
yeah,
them
yeah,
here,
yeah, exactly,
but it has no. It
does
will,
nothing.
yeah. It's like you have like the custom way of, and you have like an alphabetical. But if you go to default, it should be the actual order of the thing. So
Yeah,
this is
you're right.
wrong. So let me try once more and see if I can make this work. So you can go away. You can go away. Now I'm with layer 1, only layer 1, and it is wrong. It still have the grass for layer 3. It's so weird. Right, go away. Let me try one
I
more
think it's
time.
just a graphical glitch.
Let me look away. No, it's
Yep. Oh,
that thing is
maybe
still
not.
there. Help. Right, go away, layer 1. And you know what? Just to make
Purge.
sure, let me save, reopen. Oh, let me save all these. These should be good. Let me reopen main and let's see what happens. So this is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say. This
Hungry.
is a little bit disturbing because this is what I'm thinking. I thought that Epic was not doing anything with the landscape right? Since 420, something like that. Since it invented landmass, that was the last thing that they actually add to the system. And now I'm seeing a little bit of rework here. I thought that they were going to do like a full revamp with something completely new, right? And this is going to be completely discarded. But now I'm seeing that they are actually actively developing this thing. And I don't want to. I want them to scrap this thing and do it again with something better, with voxels or something like that, something modern. The height map, it's too old. It's something that it's too. How is the word that I'm? It's limiting, right? When you see in Fortnite that they have caves and all that, they must be suffering doing those caves because you cannot achieve that with the landscape. So either those are actually meshes that there are, sculpting and then putting them there. And, meshes are cool, but landscapes are cooler because you have like much better layering system. You have a very good LOD at a distance. Even nowadays, you can actually convert it to nanite and you don't care about LODs. But you also have the grass system. The grass system only works in landscapes. And that is amazing because you can actually have like tons and tons of, like a carpet, like grass system without actually killing your performance. Let me try this again. All right, that's it. Let me rename you from the start. You should be layer without the underscore 01. Are you good? It seems like it's good. Let me try to create the next one. Now it's under it. All right, let me do something. I will even assign the layer info this one. All right, it's working. Now this is the actual base. This is what I want. Now this one should be layer 02. And it's the pink one. That is good. Let me actually add the layer info that I created for it. So far, so good. But you see, this thing is like too complex. Like it used to actually read out whatever I set up in the layer blend, in the landscape layer blend node in the material, and be done. Even if it fails a little bit and I had to actually save, reopen the map or whatever, that was so far good, right? It was flawed, but good.
Does the layer blend node in the material have any sort of priority number for each of the layers?
Yeah. In fact, they are called the array. It's unique, and you cannot change the order of the array. So
You
here,
click on the node.
you're going to be creating like a new array element here, and you're going to have index 0, index 1, and index 2. This is non-interchangeable. You cannot change this. So the order is fixed, is perfect when you create it on the actual landscape layer blend.
Yeah.
But now it's not being read out very good here.
No, it's not being reflective.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So, all right, now we're good. Now we should be cooking. This should be working. So now I can start deselecting my landscape, and now I can start painting with my layer 2. And this thing, man, I hate the fact that it will prepare shaders every time that you lay something down. This is good, and now let me paint with layer 3, which has grass. And these should actually,
it's cooking, it's cooking.
In this one I have rocks, and in this one I have grass.
And there it is.
So, all right. I think that I don't know what they're doing. If they're going to revive something here, why start adding like new buttons and stuff here? That nowhere, I don't know, maybe they have like a new way of doing things, but without the documentation, I'm just, trying to create layers and putting names to it. It is cumbersome. And this is a 3 layers. The Unreal Sensei material has like 8. And I have one here. The one that comes with, in fact, is free and it's very good. It's called the procedural something. It's this one, the STF. It is called the Lamdscape Pro 2.0. You can actually get it from Fab. This thing has like 12 layers because it has layers for you to actually
Erase.
erase the grass and stuff like that. Imagine having to create 12 of those here and trying to be all in the same order as, you're going to have to, you're going to need to have the master material open and copy the thing. I don't know, man.
Well, but at that point, why would you want to respect the order as long as the first one, which is going to be your fill, is the first one?
Right? Maybe it's not that important.
What?
Again,
There's no point.
there is, but it might not be a problem. If you're working on what we're working right now, which is a weighted way of painting, you can actually come here to lit and you go to visualize and you go to layer contribution. No, layer debug is the one. If you check, this is my layer 1, this is my layer 2, and this is my layer 3. Now, you can see that with whatever I actually painted, go away. Whatever I painted with other layers, I'm actually deleting the layer 1. So it's actually normalizing the weight. So if I paint with, full layer 2, I'm actually removing any other layer. The good thing about this way of painting is that, let me go back here and turn off this. You have no order, right? You can actually ignore the order. So I can paint layer 3 over layer 1, and then I can go to layer 2, which, in the actual hierarchy is higher, and I can paint over it. But then I can think, no, go back to layer 3. And it has no issue, right? Because, again, it's weighted. But you can actually create layers with alpha blend, and those ones actually read out the hierarchy from these. Those are going to be an issue. If you are working with a landscape material that it's kind of relying on the order of the layers, you're fried. Because then it's not going to work well. Because these is not going to be the same as the actual order that you have on the landscape layer blend. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be an issue. Well, right now the news is that, they're actually doing work on this. Somehow we have these 2 new buttons here. And for good or bad, they're there. And now we need to live with it. Maybe this one is going to be a little bit more intelligent in the future and it's going to start doing things right. Right now it's doing a mess, a complete mess. And it's an issue with, it loading, auto-loading, layer info assets willy-nilly. The first one that it founds, because it has the same name, let's actually go and put it there. So maybe it's not going to be a big issue if you change the layer. So if you want to reuse the material, it's going to be a pain in the butt to actually do that. So apart from that, I have other news. And it is a big miss that PCGs change. Like, they keep changing. And I'm like trying to actually learn them and do cool stuff with them. But the thing is that they won't stop changing. And I'm afraid of actually learning something and have like a good way of doing something, because then the thing is going to stop working as it should. So let me show you my woes and tribulations with PCGs. So it happens, and it's one in particular. Like, I didn't found like a couple of things broken. It's just, this one. So if you create like an empty PCG, let's start by doing that. Let me get rid of these 2. Go away. Delete. Good. So let me create a PCG graph, and that is good. I'm going to drop it there. And let me make it a little bit bigger, just because. That is good. So this is how it's working, and the thing that I'm missing the most. So what you would do to actually start checking out samples and stuff here, you're going to be creating like a new surface sampler. And from here, you can actually choose which surface you wanted. And if you actually connect it to the input, because input is self, input is me, and I am a volume, right? You could actually connect these to that. And you would start seeing samples right away. So if you hit D here to actually debug it, you would see in 5.4 all the samples, at the top of the volume. And that was magnificent because, you already have something that later on you can project down and do whatever you want with it. But now it's not a thing. That thing disappeared. Now it's not there anymore. I would think, right? I was like, maybe it needs to be like in collision or, intersecting, right? Like a surface. And I know the trick that this actual floor has, like someone play with these and actually change the
Yeah.
collision. Now it's actually in block hole, so it should be actually colliding with the volume, but you don't see no sample coming here. That is a big loss because now the only way of actually using the surface sampler is by actually choosing from here. And now this is like a saying like, who are you, right? The input, like in this case is surface. You could actually try to set it to volume, and now it gives you a warning saying like, yeah, this is a surface sampler, dude. What are you talking about? We are about surfaces, not volumes. So why have this volume here when it's going to give you a warning? So the only thing that you can do is actually don't even connect it to this. You would have to actually get landscape. Yeah, get landscape data and connect it there. And now if you intersect your PCG with a landscape, you get the samples. And I think this is horrible. The fact that this is not working anymore, because I love, and I actually have a couple of very good PCGs that I actually devise for them to work no matter where you are projecting them. So they would project either on a mesh, it would project in a landscape, it would project anywhere that you actually set it up. It will project over other PCGs if you wanted to. But now there is not a thing. Maybe I'm a fool and I don't know how this thing works, but why have a surface sampler that just work with landscape? Call it a landscape sampler and be done, right? And no, not only that, like this one is the most exciting one. With this one, you can actually set these, and have like, have like a good distribution as well as you want, and you have like the looseness on it, and you could do like tons of things with these. This is like the most used sampler in the PCG, and now, as far as I know, it just works with landscape data. And I don't want to. I want to project over landscapes and meshes and whatever I want. I don't want to rely always on creating something on a landscape. But
There's no get mesh data or get static mesh data, nothing like that.
yeah, you can do that, but then it's gonna work on that mesh and just that mesh. How it used to work.
Once.
Let me show you. I'm gonna fire up 5.4, so you would see how good that thing was. I'm gonna be opening these. I happen to have some PCGs there that work that way, and the thing is that maybe you have like pebbles, right? And you want to start distributing pebbles all around, but maybe you have some foliage that are rocks, and that thing is going to create the pebbles over those rocks also, if needed, right? Because they were actually created in the actual volume, and then you use like a projection down node, and those things are going to read out whatever they are, and they're going to be landing there and staying there. So you could do very much with it. And I'm missing so much the fact that this thing is not. So if you wanted to have these projecting both on the mesh and on the landscape, no, you can't. Now it's just the landscape. There happen to be, so don't delete these. I can actually, don't use this one, move that away. There is an actual volume sampler. And you can actually, and I think this one, if I actually connect it to these, so it looks like this. So what is happening here, it looks kind of like this one. It does have the actual point extents, but somehow the actual size of the samples are like packed together and they don't leave any space between them. And no matter how many of those you actually create, they will repack themselves. So they are like bot to bot, right? Like elbow to elbow in the thing. So for you to actually see what is happening here, you need to actually create a, um, a bounds modifier. Yeah. And now I'm going to stop debugging these and start debugging this one. And now instead of scale, you're going to put these to set. And now they're gone. I think that if I start giving them a bit of size, they will start appearing. All right, now they're there. So now this is what we have. Let me do something like 10, 10, and 10. All right, so here they are. Oh, 10, 10, and 10. All right, that's good. So now you get this, right? Now I have like an array of mini samples all around. And I could, if I wanted to, maybe like, how can I actually eliminate most of them and just have like one, maybe with these, if I do this 10, 10 or 9, 10, no. Well, imagine that I could, actually leave just the top row, right? If I could do that, I would be halfway there. But the thing is that this volume sampler doesn't have it. It doesn't have the looseness of the surface sampler, and it doesn't have the point per square, and that's why you need to actually use the bounds modifier. So it is not the same, and it's gonna demand of me to actually go on all my PCGs that were working magnificently, either on a surface or on a landscape, to rethink of how I'm going to be producing my first set of samples. So let me show you how that used to work. And you can actually see it happening here. There are a couple of these mini rocks and stuff that are going to be over everything. Oh, this thing is struggling. Oh, my machine is actually kind of dying. So there are very awfully, growing on top of stuff. But this is what I wanted. I want these rocks are PCGs, so you know, and they're actually being, projected down on the landscape and also on other things around. And this is what I want this thing to actually be. You can actually see them here. I have some rocks actually on top of this rock. That's what I want. And let me show you how these actually look. So I'm going to be creating like a basic thing here. And turning on the block hole on the floor so we can actually have something to collide with. And I'm going to look for one of these. I think I actually created one here. So what are you? What are you? No, that's not what I want. Let me create a new one. It's going to be fast. So let's go PCG graph, and drop it there. Hit Control E to edit it. And now look how easy this thing was. So surface sampler, connect it there. And I would have that in between, but that is not a thing because if I go D, oh, yeah, I need to switch this from surface to volume. And now this is what I had before. This was great. I want this so much. Oh, I actually didn't return you to the, now you're back. Sorry about that. So this is what I want. This was so cool because now, after I have this some surface sampler, and I could do whatever I want, either with the with the size, with the per square meter and all that. And again, that is not looking too much because the looseness is at 1. But what you could do later on is actually do a projection node, and the projection target. I think, let me see if it's this one, projection. No, it is ray. Yeah, world heat ray. Oh, yeah, that's the one. So it's the projection plus the other one. Projection, yeah. Projection target is going to be a ray, that is going to be firing down. And if I actually debug this, that's it. Now that thing is projecting down on these, but it could be on anything else. It could be, if I go to shape and put like a sphere there and make it big enough to be something like this, right? And I move and nick my stuff. There it is. Now my PCGs are growing on top of that thing. That is what I wanted. This thing is all terrain, 4x4, man. It will work on a surface. It will work on a terrain, a landscape, whatever you want. And this is what you want out of this thing, to be universal. It will load up whatever. Now with this version, it's, I don't know, maybe there is an answer to this, and maybe this is a plea of me for someone to tell me, you're a fool. Now you need to do it this way. But I don't know, man. That is where we are. All right. So now I got that off my chest. All right. That is where we are. All right. You know what? I wanted to ask you a little bit of help because I was so, in awe when I saw the chaos cloth that many ideas came to my mind. And maybe there's going to be like a hard testimony to say, but I started playing ZZZ, Zenless Zone Zero. I don't know if you have seen that game, and I'm not there because of the personalities of the characters. It is more I'm really I think that the characters are awesome. Like it has a lot of dangling beats, and it has like very cool attires and all that. And I think that is really what the metahuman is missing. And I was thinking, now that we can actually make an actual mesh to follow, any character, maybe we can start devising like cool ways of creating like armor and, bits and pieces here and there, that they will either deform with the character or also, maybe like dangle and do a little bit of chaos simulation on them. So I was wondering.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So regarding that, there's so far what I've seen are three ways of doing that. If you have, say, a ponytail and that ponytail has bones, you
Right.
set all the bones to, I think, all the bones to kinematic, and then all three of the bones to dynamic or something like that. There's one way or the other. That's what Echo has on her hair, the one that's not glue acid. That's one. The other option would be cloth, but it's only gonna work for cloth. And the
Right.
third option is the physics constraint, which is a new little asset that came in with Chaos, which lets you, for example, create a chain, and that chain you attach to the hips of a character, and that chain will just bounce around as the character is moving.
But what if I want a hat, right? I'm gonna do like a poor job of doing a hat.
Nice.
What
Awesome.
what if I want a hat like this one, right? And this is gonna be a static mesh, at least for now, right? Because what if I come here and I go chaos? Why is not maybe
You're gonna need to enable the plugin.
yeah, it may be not in this particular one. All right, so let me save this full thing as my main again, because who cares about the main? All right, so let me go edit, and let me go plugins, and let me go chaos. Chaos. All right. So it's the cloth assets, and I need the cloth editor, right?
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
The chaos cloth editor. No?
Yes.
Just,
yep. Yeah.
This one also.
No, not that one. No,
right.
Just the two that have the little T-shirt.
All right. So, yeah, save everything. Everything is good. And what I want is to see if I actually can add those with chaos. And, the ones that are going to be like armor could be like Steve. And maybe if I have something like a leash or something like that, to have just a little bit of dangling, right? So I want to try that. I want to see if I can create like pieces to a metahuman, because the metahuman is really cool in terms of the proportions of it. So like one mesh should fit all if you actually know how much, it actually changes, from metahuman to metahuman. And even I think that because that thing is gonna be how it's called, it is actually kind of sort of skin to the character. That thing should actually do good and follow the character, the formations and all that. So let me try with first this hat, something like very stiff, right? So if I go here to chaos, it's still not there. Why? Is there like
Are you in 5.5 or in 5.4?
this is 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah. So physics. Oh, it's here. It's called
right
a
there.
cloth asset.
A cloth.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So now I got this guy and I have this other guy there. So that is what I want. So I open it up and it's going to be this complicated chain of many, many, many stuff. But that is all right. What I need to do is actually remove the USD input and I want a mesh input. If I'm not import, that's the, static mesh import. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
So I'm going to connect that there. And now these
yeah.
static mesh import, I need to actually put like a static mesh.
No need. You can go to the details panel of that one to the right to the node
it's
details.
right here, right? No, it's right here.
Down there. Yeah.
So I want that cylinder that I just created that I don't know what is the name
Where
of
it is. Yeah.
because it's like randomization at its best. Yeah, cylinder. It does have the name cylinder. So I'm going to select it and assign it right there. All right. That's it. I have a cylinder. But now I want the transfer skin weights to be these, the mannequin simple.
Yes.
Should I type simple? And then I'm going to have only two. Oh, I have many
Or 8
mannequins. That is the worst thing. Because this is one is for the jungle pack. This is not the one. I want the one in characters. Yeah, the man is simple. That is in game character. This is the one. All right, cool. We are kind of there, right? So now I need to actually move the. So this is good there. I need to move first this one. So I should accept first.
You will. So here's the problem. You can move it up. If you accept, you lose all control. So just move it up now, and we'll see if it does a good thing. So that's the problem. The problem is that you're gonna be moving the mannequin. You could, in theory, and I don't think that's gonna affect the end game either. So you could just move him down.
I could do that, right? I could move
yeah,
him
this
down.
It's just for this.
Oh, but that's gonna be a bit of an issue. No, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit cancel for now.
You should fix the pivot on the cylinder.
Yeah,
really.
You need to actually go here and go to the modeling tools.
Yep.
And Xform, pivot, drop it, origin world. Oh, I'm not working in. I should have been working in the center of the world.
To the 0.
So I can actually do that. Yeah, take that to there, and you pivot to the center of the world origin, and what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, I need to do this and pull it up, put it wherever it should be. So if I'm doing armor with this, it should be like this. So this in the 0, these two in the 0. Now I should go to the pivot and I would world origin. So they are both in the same. Hit accept.
0. Yeah.
Now these should match. So if I go here to transfer weights, or maybe not. Maybe I need to like refresh this.
Did you check in transfer weights if the money was already moved?
I didn't save. So now
Okay,
it should work.
maybe Manny actually check on. Oh no, Manny is at 0. Try re-importing the static mesh just in case.
Right. So hit it with fire. Bring in the cylinder. It's the other eye. And it's the cylinder with the weird name at the end. Maybe it will work. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that fixed it.
Unreal being Unreal.
All right. Now I have my money simple here. And should I accept? What should I do here?
Nothing. It's done already.
It's done.
Yep.
Right. And then you have the
weight painting, which I'm guessing you're not going to do anything with. Or do you want it to be cloth? No, you just want the skin transfer, right?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
So now
So you transfer the weights. You don't need the physics asset really, and you don't need any of the properties for physics in the cloth. So I think right now you could just wire your transfer weights directly to terminal and see what effect you get.
To terminal? What is terminal? This?
The final one, yeah. You could just bypass everything in the middle, right? Because you're not going to use any cloth. You're not going to use aerodynamics. You're not going to, but on the hat.
For now, because maybe I want some dangling bits. You should see the weirdness stuff that they do with those characters. They create like. Will it work if I leave it? If I leave everything here, maybe for later use, or I need to actually disconnect?
Painting on it, it's not going to simulate at all, so it's just going to stay stiff. Why don't you try putting up Manny right there on the top right in the preview mesh? And let's see what happens.
Simple, right?
Yes.
The one on characters. Simple Manny.
And the hat should be at the top. There is the hat. Yeah, and now if you run the walk animation on him.
There is a jog animation. Will it work?
Or jog or whatever you want.
And, it is not working.
And, all right. So the transferring of the weights didn't work. Are you sure it's the exact same scale image?
Is it? Let me see.
Maybe just click on that and then send it over there.
And how are you? I think it's the same.
It is. Maybe just move it around then, just slightly. Yeah, move it and then set it to 0 value.
And now 0?
And now hit accept. Maybe that wakes it up. But it does 0.
It doesn't accept.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to set like 0.000001 and accept. All right.
No, that shouldn't do anything. Let me go ahead and test it here.
All right, let's do something. Let's actually do what you said. So the weight map we don't need. We can actually connect this collection right to the end, right?
I mean, we're not using the physics asset. We're not using anything else. We're just using the skeleton to do the transfer weights, and that's all we need.
So I can actually. Where was this connected to? I don't know. So I'm gonna actually.
That's all the LODs. Just doing LODs.
I can actually connect all the LODs to the same
Yeah,
LOD.
I think you could do that here and just transfer from that one. Transfer skin weights.
That's it. And to all LODs maybe.
No need. Yeah, no need. Yeah, sure. If you want, sure. If not, just remove the pins from the control terminal.
All right. So now I'm going to go to my transfer skin weights, look for where this dude is, and assign it here, and do the jog. What am I doing wrong? I was trying this a day before, and it was not working. So I was like, I need to ask.
Okay. Let me try it on my end and see what might be the problem.
Maybe it's the number of, vertices on this thing that is too low and it doesn't know
I think I know. I don't think he has any way painting that far up. Try moving the asset a little lower. Maybe the bone is not even reaching to do the transfer of weights.
Right, let's try.
Yeah, try something like that. Very drastic. Yep.
Oh.
That's exactly what happened.
Look at that.
It's too far away.
All right. Well, Oh, he had a hat.
Yeah, it's not super intuitive though,
All right,
because you
let's
moved it
try.
up to the chest, which is too. It's a
Let's
lot.
try idle. Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Hey, where are you?
Oh, gone forever.
It's like swimming a little bit. You know what? It may be because now
It's
it's
because
too far
it's
down.
attached to the chest. It's to
Yeah.
the spine.
So if I go now here and I try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly what you
Somewhere
say,
over there. Yeah, exactly.
all right, I need to
Oh,
reset, right?
too far. No, it's too far. Needs to be a little higher.
Oh, all right. So maybe
Maybe somewhere
around
over
there.
there.
Oh, there it
Yep.
is. All right, now I'm understanding this a little bit
It's
better
still swimming a lot though.
because I think it's maybe attached to like the neck bone or something like that.
Neck one or neck two, yeah.
But I think also the amount of vertices on this thing is not helping too much because if it was a little bit denser, maybe it's gonna fit better.
I think the main problem is that the bottom and the top do not have vertices at all. And the bone is probably looking outside from the bone to try and reach the closest vertices. So that's why, since the top and the bottom don't have vertices, maybe if it's a sphere, it's going to do a way better job.
All right.
Or if you subdivide it, yeah, you could subdivide. Because a sphere has a ton more geometry.
Where is the actual? Is in the form? Where is the?
Mesh? Subdivide right there.
It's
Top right.
subdivide. No, I want.
What do you want?
Where's the one that I want? I want the remesh.
Remesh.
Why Unreal? We have searches everywhere, but here.
Oh yeah, no searches there. Mesh probably.
Where is remesh model? No mesh.
Mesh.
Remesh. Here it is.
Remesh.
All right, now it's
Yep.
remeshed. Perfect. Now it has tons of vertices all around. It is a complete mess, but
Might be better, yeah.
let's see if this works. So this is
You can
good.
probably put it
I need to
closer
actually
now.
save it also. Let's save
Yep.
everything. Boop. Now let's go back. What if I go here and I actually set it, as it should be?
Yeah, exactly.
It is missing again.
It's failing.
All right. Maybe I'm not going to do a hat. I'm going to do a chess piece. All right. Yeah. I'm the director and the employee of the month and everything at once. So I'm going to grab this, sink it down to the chest, just like that. And I'm going to do the X form, edit pivot, put it on the world origin, say OK. And I think, you know what? I think this is not the one that we're using. So I'm going to have to do the exact same thing we did before. Oh, it doesn't have even the stuff here. So again, cylinder, weird name, and it's not safe. So I should actually save it.
But that's working already.
I think this one is it's a full success.
Yeah, it's working already, yeah.
Is it swimming a little bit though?
It is.
How it's looking here? This one is at.
It's still off.
Set it up at 000. But because it doesn't have any weight, no, it does have the actual weight.
It is transferring. So the only issue with the transfer skin weight node is that, as you can see, it doesn't really have that many options per se.
Yeah.
So on the bottom right, does it give us anything other than just, yeah, go do it?
You know what? Maybe
So
the max bone influence is an actual issue. Maybe it should have like less.
So
No, now it's worst.
there's target meshes, we have sim and render, no, that's fine. And then we have transfer method, we have in-pane weights, and then we also have closest point on surface. So you could try those two. And there's also radius percentage and a couple more options down there. So
I'm gonna move you a little bit to the left so people can see.
Yeah, exactly. If we go and play around with those, instead of in-pane weights, closest
point.
Yeah. See, that gives us a worse reaction. And I am guessing.
Oh, wait. Look, I actually reset toggle simulation suspended. And now it's working.
No, I think what you did was stop the actual sim. Yeah. So that gives
Oh,
us information, though. I think there is something else going on.
huh. What is this thing?
Wait, did you have the sim on or off? Okay, with the sim off, it is
It's
attaching
sticky.
it correct. But if you stop the simulation,
No, this is simulation suspended when it's on, right?
yes, it's
So
stopped.
now it's
Now
simulating.
it's simulating.
All right, so now it's working. I think that that was the issue. I actually clicked that before.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
transfer
It looks
weight.
very anchored now. It's actually, you can even see the armpits raising, and it is raising the cylinder too.
Oh yeah, look at
You see
that.
how it goes
It's
up
actually
because of
going
the
up,
skin weighting?
and it's not changing the penetration here.
Yep.
This is what I want. This is what I want because now I can go back and grab this cylinder and start, giving it shape on
Yeah.
straps and some logos and stuff because you can do booleans. And let me show you what's in my mind. I'm gonna let this run in here. I'm gonna save everything because this might completely crash. So what if I actually come here just because I can, and I can add create, let's do like a capsule or a sphere, all right? I'm gonna create a sphere, put it there, and I'm gonna hit accept, and I'm gonna actually move the pivot to the center. Yep. So it's gonna be a lot easier to move around because what I wanted of these is to be tiny. And I'm gonna put these, and I wanna see how this workflow is gonna actually, work. So why am I struggling so much? Like put it at 0, raise it up, pull it forward. Let's say around here. What if I boolean this thing out? So select this and that, go to, is it model? Is it mesh? What's a boolean? Oh, it's an actual model. So boolean, no, the other way around. Yeah. Now it has a hole. And let me actually move these around, here. So this is, imagine that this is, me trying to model something cool, right? And that's it. I'm going to hit OK. And that's it. And now the only thing I need to do is go to my static stuff here, right? Oh, first of all, you need to save the stuff because if you don't save, that thing is not going to be. So this dude is going to have like a wheel of cheese in the chest. And now I can look for where it is and then reassign it. No, that doesn't work. So you need to actually deassign it and go away and reassign it. Maybe it didn't save. What is happening? Oh, because I did a boolean, I think it created another
It creates
cylinder.
a second asset, yes.
Yeah. So now I must search where this is and select the cheese wedge. And now I can actually assign this one. Now it broke. Why? Transfer weight. Now why is, oh, I know why. Because this one might have, yeah, it has this stuff in the middle. I need to go X form. No, it's don't split it. Are you crazy? Yeah, drop that to the world origin and hit accept. Now, save it. It's not gonna be that automatic of but I think, yeah,
Did it reset the pivot point?
there it is. Now it has a
Oh,
wedge.
there we go.
Because the actual topology is crap, it might do stuff like this. But this is something that I can live with.
Yeah.
But look at that. I can actually create armor inside Unreal Engine and I can
Yeah,
watch it there without having to skin weight it, do a little bit of
exactly.
changes, reassigning it. This is awesome. I could do so much with these because that is what we're missing so much from Metahumans. The shirt, the sweaty, and the other thing, that thing should go. Like we cannot have proper Metahumans without stuff like this. Look at this. I love it. I love it. I found it. It gives me a new thing to actually think about. Maybe I'm not going to do anything with it, but maybe I'm going to do tons of it. I don't know. But yeah, this thing is great. I want to do bracers first because those are going to be really easy. Maybe I want to do like chin guards. That's how they are called, right?
Shin guards, yeah.
Do a couple of those things and see, how they actually fit, and do a little bit of coloring on those. Take them out to Quixel Mixer and do some painting on those. There are some awesome smart materials on Quixel Mixer that you need like 2 clicks and have something very cool metal like with oxide and stuff. All right. I'm happy now. Now I know how to do it. Now I know Kung Fu. I love it. This thing. All right. And now what I need to do, right? Because this is that, right? Now I need it to be there. So I can actually take this out. And I can select this character and do an add. And I want to add what? A chaos?
Yes, chaos cloth or cloth, because chaos cloth doesn't appear. Yeah, that one.
Chaos cloth component. And now I what? Oh, here it is. Skin cache.
No. I don't think, no. I don't think that's what it is. Scroll lower and there should be a slot for...
Oh, this one?
Yep, there it is.
Look at that.
Ta-da!
And now I can come to this guy and I can
tell it to run an animation. Yep.
Animation, asset, and I will do the jog animation. What? Jog? Jump? Walk animation. Yeah, that would do. All right. And now I can come here. Don't crash. Don't crash. I don't know how optimal this thing that we're doing is. But let's try.
Who knows?
And now I need to update. And I want update animation in editor. That's it. We have our dude walking with his cheese armor.
Yep.
And it does actually work in, it actually deforms on the underarm and everything. This is a proper armor, dude.
Yep. And you could do this with whatever static meshes you want. Obviously, at some point, with shin guards or bracers or shoulder pads or a helmet, I wouldn't even go into chaos at all because there's no deforming needed. I would just simply bring the static mesh into the blueprint and attach it to the corresponding bone. We're never going to want a piece of metal to bend at any point in time. But if it is leather armor, a chest piece, or a bracer that is made of leather, and we may want some bending on it, this will give us automatic skin painting. And if we wanted to, at any point in time, expand that asset and give it like a piece of cloth that's flowing, right. In that one chaos cloth asset, we are going to have the ability to weight paint with white the piece of cloth and not the bracer itself. And that piece of cloth is just going to flail away as the bracer is moving.
Exactly. I mean, of course, you're right. For chin guards and arms, you might not need too much of that, depending on the actual shape of it. If you wanted to grow a little bit on the wrist, right, and have like I don't know how
the wrist, so it bends and it doesn't interpenetrate. Yeah,
that would be good. That would be like a safest way of actually creating something, knowing that it's not going to interpenetrate or do weird stuff. But imagine these now we'd have some sort of strapples around that would be like the
do it right now.
I don't
Can you
know.
extrude?
We're like 1 hour and a half in because of my stupid PCG rant. All right, next time we meet, I'm going to have what is called the bane of the animator, and that is a backpack. I remember the times where people were saying, like, yeah, and I want my character to have a backpack. And I'm like, no, no, you don't want it. You really don't
Mm,
want a backpack.
it should
Because,
work. Yeah.
yeah, the only way that you could do a backpack back then is to actually have like bones on it, and then you will have to animate the thing with the shoulder, and it was hell to pay if you want that thing to move with
Mhm.
the character. So that is the first thing that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a backpack, and that backpack is gonna deform with the character, and that thing is
Mhm.
gonna look awesome. And even if it doesn't look awesome, it will be a base for something that could look awesome because I can keep on updating this thing without having to go through, weight painting,
Skinny.
skin,
Yeah.
and all that. This thing opens up, not streets, like a full highway of stuff that you
Yeah.
could do.
The one thing it would be awesome to get, Blender has something that is insane for their simulation for cloth that is called shape keys. So as the
No,
simulation is going, you cook it, and then if the simulation went into the body because at
yeah,
some point it just broke, but the simulation in general is good, you can just step on that frame and create what they call the shape key.
yeah,
And then you sculpt the thing away from the body. It's insane. So you're essentially creating blend shapes
yeah,
on specific keys of a baked simulation.
yeah,
So you can then export that and bring it into Unreal or something like that if you wanted to. It would be awesome if this thing had something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And in fact, that could be like because remember that this whole chaos thing goes hand in hand with the MDL is the actual acronym of the thing, the MDM learning machine, the machine learning stuff. So
Yes.
how that works is you're going to be you need to bring like a shirt, right? And you know that that thing is going to deform like really awful when you do like a full arms up or something like that, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to go to Blender and you're going to do the full arm up, and the thing is going to destroy the actual shirt, and you're going to use that and you're going to fix it, right? And you're going to be bringing from Blender not a full animation, but some step keys with arms up, arms to the side, arms forward, just like a couple of moves here and there, right? And you're gonna be
Mm.
fixing with that thing everywhere, and then you're gonna feed those animations into the MDL learning machine inside Unreal Engine, and that thing is gonna run a couple of times, and it's gonna say, "Now I know how to deform this thing real time."
That would be awesome.
And every time you move and do whatever you want with other animations, it's gonna
Hmm.
fix the thing in real time. That is what the MDL thing. Have you played with that content? I
No,
have never
not at all.
downloaded. I think it must be like really huge. Is this one? In fact, that is like another character that nobody actually uses. Where is it? Isn't Oh, here it is. It's just the back of the dude. Let me copy this and paste it here. Yeah. Oh, all right. Whatever you say, dude. Let me bring this thing. That's it. Yeah, I hate the face of this character. Like, I don't know why they choose this particular model. Like, I don't know. It's not. I wish it was more like a metahuman. You know what I mean? But yeah, the actual deformation of a shirt and the muscle of the stuff
Hmm.
is really, really great. And it's not like I don't like the features of a face. It looks like the head is too small for the body. Like the
Mm.
proportions are wrong. Like this dude looks like cartoonish because of maybe the massive neck on the tiny
Hmm.
head. There is something weird about the proportion of the body with the head. So this would be like a lovely character to actually, move around. And this is what I was telling you. Like you could actually freeze these in Blender, fix the shirt, and then bring that as a step frame. And then the same with the muscles. you could actually sculpt the muscle movement at some particular positions,
Mm-hmm.
and then you feed that into the engine, and then it will actually know how to do this, but in real time, every time, no matter what animation you throw at the thing.
That
So
would
it's
be
no
awesome.
interpenetration, no need to actually have like bones colliding with clothes and stuff like that. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
I think mutable is a step in the right direction
Mm.
regarding having chaos cloth, understand when to avoid interpenetration and all that. I think mutable itself is a mess and it's not very intuitive. I think they
Yeah.
went on and created an entire new thing where you could probably create that in a blueprint and there was no need for an entire new framework. Because what it's doing, it's really looking at geometry and deleting faces based on that geometry, be it a primitive or be it a UV or
Right.
be it something like that. So to avoid that interpenetration, what I'm most interested in is what they did with, okay, if it has boots, use this static mesh, which has the pants inwards, right? So
Right.
it's like they are pulled in. So I think it looks like it's super intelligent and it's doing that automatically and whatnot. It's simply choosing a skeletal mesh according to whatever other skeletal mesh you are putting down there.
I'm
So
gonna
it's not
tell
that
you.
smart. It's doing it real time, which is it's awesome, but it's not nothing we couldn't done earlier with a blueprint, a very deep blueprint, but a blueprint itself.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna
it's not
tell you
intuitive. So
why they actually choose that instead of having like the duplicated skins and duplicated skeletal meshes and all that is because of the optimization of the materials, because you can actually create materials on the fly, and that is what is really spectacular about this. Because if you can, not only the material, because the material might not need to change, the actual texture, if the texture changes inside the material, you only need one material. And right now that is the actual
mhm.
kryptonite from Epic, and that is you have nanite now, where you don't have any draw calls with nanite. You have only one huge one, or maybe a couple, big ones. But the actual materials are the actual issue, and materials
Mm.
are unique mainly because of the texture that they have in. Now imagine having a gun that only use one material, because you can actually swap textures when you are changing the model. That
Yeah.
is the biggest draw about doing this, um, because again you could have many models and that wouldn't mind, because again it's going to be a nanite, but you're going to need several different materials, and that is
Mhm.
where that is the showstopper. And I think mutable is more a texture creator than a mesh selector in terms of the optimization that it provides.
Okay. Fair enough.
Right, we did it. That is the end. This is the end. And I think not many people actually came, but it's all right. Um, we the good thing about YouTube is that the thing gets um,
It's
recorded,
views.
yeah, and then you
Yeah.
get the views. So yeah, you don't care. And if I finally at some point, hire an editor, he can actually get like pieces of this thing. I could do like a
Snippets.
full video and with shorts and stuff. But I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm gonna do it. Once we get these, floating, and we get the weekly stuff, and we start getting like tons and tons of content. I think that would be like the way to go. All right,
Yeah.
man.
Let me know. I can be the editor.
Oh yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Deal.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Let's do it. We're gonna talk this one offline. All right.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Franco. It was lovely having you. It is always, amazing to talk to you every week. I enjoy, having someone with, the wits and the need to learn new things and new avenues
Hmm.
of Unreal Engine. I appreciate it too much. So thank you so much. And
Yeah.
for everybody out there who might be sticking up to this point, yeah, thank you very much for coming. And you know the drill. Love you all. Take care of each other. And I see you on the next one. Bye bye.